All right, so the pieces on the chessboard are moving around. Israel Adesanya is now talking about coming back in June to fight against Jamal Hill at 205. Now, why is that notable? Who can see the writing on the wall here? Okay, where's this going, right? Where is this going? And why does this make perfect sense? So I heard that this was the rumor, and I saw some people's reactions to him. I don't agree with some of them, but I will tell you, in the event that this does come together, which I think there's a high probability that it will, because if a champion says, I want to turn around and fight really fast, the UFC is not going to say no, right? You see what it's like to deal with these champions. But I can tell you exactly what the UFC is thinking. I'll tell you exactly what they're going to be setting up, and I'll tell you exactly why this would be this would be the absolute best thing ever. Like, I'm serious. This would be the best thing ever. And not because, I want to see Izzy do 205 again. I'll tell you exactly why. It would be the best thing ever. Now, before I get into it, real quick, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Tell your friends. I work really hard. Thank you guys again. We did a bunch of new subscribers yesterday. I appreciate you guys doing that. If you're going to watch the content, just click the button, subscribe, forget about it, and then we're good to go. Also, like this video, because you're going to like this video. And then, I don't know, comment if you've got something to say, right? All right, so here's the deal. So all of these things, matchmaking, who's going to fight who, when is it going to happen, and why, all of these things come down to a couple of factors, right? It's like, A, how can we sell pay-per-views? B, who's available to fight? C, who is willing to fight, right? And then what does it set up next? That's sometimes the most important thing. And so if Izzy turns around and says, oh, okay, cool. Well, so what's next for me? Well, I could fight, Duplessis, and I could obviously just, smash him. It won't be a hard fight for me. I'll destroy him. And I totally agree with that. I could do that. Or, I don't know, maybe I could turn around and I could fight for the 205 belt in June. And the UFC's like, I'm sorry, what? Did you say fight in June? It's like, yeah, I said fight in June. It's like, June, huh? So Izzy saying he would turn around really fast and fight in June knows exactly how to incentivize the UFC. The more times that Izzy fights in a year, the more money the UFC makes. Obviously, the more money he makes as well. He has a great contract. But so the UFC, they're like, all right. And so they'll go into their room and they will have the following conversation with each other, right? They'll be like, well, it didn't really go that well last time. They'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, but who is he fighting? They'll be like, oh, Jan Blachowicz. Yeah, what's his style? Right. An enormous grappler, and he was able to take Izzy down and kind of hold him there. It wasn't a great fight, whatever. They're all, what about Jamal Hill? They're like, he's a striker. Yeah, he's a striker. He will definitely stand with Izzy. It's like, all right. Much more favorable matchup. Yeah, because we definitely would not want Izzy to go up and lose. They're all, well, actually, if Izzy went up to 205 and lost, we got a star on our head. Jamal Hill, very marketable, dude. Very marketable. So if Izzy goes up to 205, it's kind of a win-win, because let's just play them both out. A, if Hill does beat Izzy, we got a star in our hands at 205, and Izzy just goes back down to 185. His star's not, he's fine, dude. Izzy is going to be a star no matter what, right? Right. Well, what about if he wins? What do you think happens if he wins? He fights the next challenger, right? Yeah. And who's that? 205. If Anthony Smith wins in, if he wins in North Carolina, he's in the conversation for sure. You got that guy from Russia that we refuse to even talk to because he whatever, the UFC. Whatever. God, Jesse, what's his name again? Ankalaev. Jesus. Yeah, you got Ankalaev. He obviously should get the shot, but if we're not giving him the shot at Hill right now, that clearly means we don't want to give him a shot because he was disrespectful to the UFC and he was nasty about it, and Dana doesn't like him. So there's that. You got Ankalaev. You got Blachowicz. Who else you got? Teixeira. I don't think he's coming back. So what do you got? You're all, oh gosh, I feel like there's someone that would be a great fit, assuming that Izzy was able to win the belt at 205. Like, gosh, it's kind of escaping me. Who would it be? I don't know. Who is it? I don't know, man. Who is it? Gosh, it would be a super fight. Someone over there is saying super fight, but I can't put my finger on who it is. Who could it be? Is it Yuri Prohaska? Is it Yuri? If Yuri comes back, they're all, yeah, that's a good fight too. Wait, that's not who you had in mind? That's not who you had in mind? No, actually, it's not. It's not who I had in mind. I mean, Yuri and I mean, that's a super fight, isn't it? It's a big fight. Yeah, for sure, it's a big fight. I don't know about super fight though, right? I don't know about super fight. Well, geez, I am drawing a blank. Super fight. Who could it be? Wait a minute. Isn't there like a new guy who's going to be going up to 205? Oh, right. What's his name? Poaton. Hands of Steel. Alex Pereira. Remember him? Doesn't Alex Pereira and Izzy, like, don't they have some kind of history? They do, man. They've actually fought twice in the UFC already, and they're 1-1 against each other at 185. But, you know, Alex has won 2 other times in kickboxing, so, man, that might be like a heck of a backstory for a 205-pound title fight. Yeah. Has that ever happened before? No. We dreamed about it with Cormier and John Jones, but no, never done a thing like that. So that'd probably be a pretty big fight. Well, given the reaction to Izzy's knockout of Pereira being like one of the most iconic knockouts ever, and everybody's still talking about it right now because it was so incredible, I'm imagining that the build up to that fight would be so insane that it would be hard to keep the pay-per-view buys under 1 million even if we tried. Totally agree, man. Totally agree. So what's our downside here? Downside of Izzy moving up to 205? Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess like it would delay things. Wait, would it? He said he'd fight it in June. Right. Well, what if he wins? I mean, you do an interim, right? You got a new guy at 185 named Khamzat Chimaev. You let him go up. He wins the belt. Izzy comes back down. He's got to fight Khamzat, right? He's got to fight Khamzat. So like you make Khamzat the interim, assuming that he wins the fights. You got him against, I mean, right? And if Costa somehow beats Khamzat, you could potentially get Costa in there. Him and Izzy have all kinds of history. Man, that's a great point. Yeah, I know, man. I know. I'm just playing all these things out. And so, you know, and given that Poaton, who wants to go to 205, just got starched, head hit the canvas with another shot afterwards, he needs some time. So if Izzy fights in June, right, then with his turnaround from that fight, probably lines up perfectly from a timing perspective. The more we talk about this, the more I am loving this idea. I know, man. Izzy going to 205 kind of makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. It really does. Yeah, totally. So why would we not do it? I have no idea. Okay, so let's do it. I'm sure Jamal Hill will be excited. For sure. Why would Jamal Hill not take that fight? He is going to get a much larger paycheck because on the back end of the pay-per-view, more pay-per-views sold, Israel Adesanya fighting him than whoever else he was going to fight. So, hey, bring in the interns. Bring them in. Hey, guys. Yeah. We got a question for you guys. You guys want to earn your keep? Yes, we are here to learn. We are here to contribute any way that we can. Think of a reason why having Israel Adesanya fight against Jamal Hill is not an exceptional idea if Izzy is willing to do it in June. Oh, gosh. Well, if Izzy loses and that's bad for his brand, you're out. Beat it. Oh, you're fired. Thanks for coming out. What about you, intern? Because at 185, there's no champion. I'm not going to fire you for that, but we do have a solution for that. Now, save your job. What's the solution? Oh, fuck. Robert Whittaker is like the automatic interim champion. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Grab your shit. Get the fuck out of here. Go with your other fired friend. Beat it. Jesus. You. What's the risk in having Izzy fight at 205? There isn't one. Why? Because if he loses, that makes Jamal Hill a huge star, and he just goes back down to 85, and Izzy's brand is too solid for him to really, have any shine taken off of him because he went up to 205. You, come sit next to me. I like you right here. Sit right here. Right here. Now pay attention. All right, next guy. Come in here, intern. If we have Izzy go up to 185, who do we have fight for the interim title back there at 85? Ooh, Robert Whittaker and Duplessis. You're not fired, but let's go. Think a little bit further. Why is it okay if we have to get an interim belt? I'm struggling here. Here's a better question. What's the other fight that we could do for an interim belt immediately that's already set? I'm not sure. Boom, you're fired. Beat it. The answer was Hamzat versus Costa, interim belt. Beat it. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus. Fucking interns, man. Who's in charge of hiring interns? Fire them, too. Actually, you, next intern, get the fuck in here. Okay? You are either going to get fired and you're going to cost the intern manager their job, or you're hired, we're giving him a raise. All the pressure's on you. Are you ready? Yep, I am. All right. What's the major, biggest upside of Izzy going to 205? If he goes to 205 and fights in June, give it to us. What's like the biggest, best case scenario from that? He beats Hill, and the timing from having him fight in June lines up perfectly with when Poatan wants to come up. And the next fight at 205 is Poatan against Izzy for the 205 belt, and that is the rubber match to take care of who's the real champion of the UFC and the champion of their rivalry. Jesus Christ. Look at this fucking kid, man. How old are you? 19? Nice. Got some real legs on your career, huh? Get over here. Sit right fucking here, dude. Don't leave my side for the next 2 years. I'm going to pay you 20 grand a year. Does that work? No, that doesn't work. I like you, dude. That's the right answer, okay? I'm going to pay you 25. Get the fuck over here. Sit the fuck down right here. Whoo! All right, so you, next intern. Why is it important that Izzy fights in June? Okay, why do we need him to fight in June? Why is it such an important thing? John Jones is MIA. We don't know when the fuck he's going to fight. Leon Edwards is refusing to fight. You know, I'm looking around and I'm kind of trying to figure out when we're going to be able to do this Connor and Chandler thing. You got this USADA thing mucking up the works over there. Basically, the only champion you got that's ready and willing to fight that's not already booked is Islam Makhachev. And you never know what's going to happen with these Dagestani guys. So, basically, you got fights to book, you got events to put on, and you don't have any stars that are ready to go. Good God. What did you put all the fucking idiots at the beginning of the thing, dude? Look at, is that what you did? You stacked the front of the interns with the fucking retards? You, get over here right here. You, I'm paying 27 grand a year. Sit over here, right here. Don't fucking move. Let's go. Look at these guys, dude. I'm impressed all of a sudden. I am impressed. Next one. What would you do given the fact that Leon Edwards has refused to fight without a major pay bump? You, tell me about it. So you already gave him the fight in the UK. He made a demand and you already gave it to him, right? Like he said you wanted to fight in the UK and you said sure. That's right. That's right. How much is he talking? He says a big pay bump. What does that mean? Is he talking 200,000? Are you talking 2 million? You're already asking all the right questions. I don't know. All right. Well, we threatened to strip that fucking. Let's threaten to strip him. Pump. I like where your head's at, but pump the brakes, dude. He just won and defended the title like a second and a half ago, right? We are kind of pushing the envelope, asking him to fight this fast. You know, this is like a quick turnaround. If he fights 294, he still fights twice this year, right? So we can't really strip him when he's going to fight twice in the year. So what else would you suggest? Just fucking pay him the money? Yeah, we might have to actually do that. Good job. You're not getting paid 27 grand because I don't like your answer, even though that probably is the answer. Come over here. You're making 18 grand a year. Sit right here, right next to me. Thank you. Now you, the hardest question of all, intern. What would you do about John Jones? I think I'm going to need a little bit more information. Are you now? Yeah. I mean, there are so many different ways that you could, so many different things that you could mean by that. Okay. Well, so John Jones, held out for years and years and years. We finally gave him the contract that he wants. We locked him in forever. He has 8 fights on his deal. He's never fighting anywhere else. One thing we can't do is we cannot force him to fight. And he's MIA, right? You'd think he'd want to come make this money, right? But he's MIA. We can't get a hold of him. We have no idea what the fuck is going on. Oof, man. What would I do about that? Well, let me ask you this. How much money does he have saved? Excellent question. I like where your head's at. What kind of leverage do we have? Does he have enough money to just live forever like a wealthy person? That's an excellent question. I don't know. But I think given the fact that he sat out for 3 years, he probably has a lot of dough. All right. Well, we need to improve our position with him. We need to create some kind of fear of him not fighting. So maybe we start talking to Francis again, offer him more money. I'm sorry, did you not see the statement that Dana just put out? Francis is never coming back. Absolutely never. Okay, but did you actually mean that he can never come back, or was that you still negotiating with Francis and trying to make him come back and take less money because you want to kind of stick it up his ass to make him come back? Excellent question. You know what? That's enough. Get over here. Oh, right here. 19 grand a year for you. Boom. Anyway, that's what we got. So, love you guys. Peace.